I think the question is, for me, when the regulation landscape's constantly evolving all of the time, and therefore you have to place some focus on it because that's what you're sort of regulated and measured on. What does that, as sort of leaders of the organizations, what does that sort of prevent you from doing? Does that squeeze certain areas where you maybe want to focus some time and sort of investment elsewhere? Or do you find that these regulation changes always end up sort of forming part of what was part of the strategy anyways?
The question is always, is it worth it? It cost us 10 grand to do last year's TSMs. Fortunately, the size we are, we only have to do one survey a year. That's adequate. We don't do it every month or something like that. So over 3 years, that's £30,000. Whereas previously, what we used to go out and do cost us under 4 every 3 years. So you multiply the cost of that information by 7 times, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you get 7 times better information? I personally don't think we as an organisation do get 7 times better. We get better information, but it's not 7 times better. And I'm hoping, by the time we've all had an inspection under the new regime, TSMs have settled in for a couple of years. You all know what is the key information from our set of TSMs. It'll settle that. But it's that perfect storm thing on top of Arab's law coming in, and you've got really tight deadline. I mean, I worry with Arab's law. You've got your 14 days to get your report out, all that kind of thing. Well, if your piece of damp or your potential serious health and safety hazard is actually relatively trivial, so it's a damp problem, but it's not life-threatening pin mold, damp black mold, it's something else, but you're expected to do your report. Well, that's putting resources into something actually for the business and for the resident isn't that serious, but you've got to still do it. Whereas it would be better spending that resource on your really serious problems, but you may no longer have it available to do that. So because you've spent it on the relatively less important things that the regulators say you must do. So I'm hoping those will settle out as well. But while they're all happening, it's all a bit...